willing to talk about these things, and you have to be willing to put it all on the table.
Learn firsthand from the power couple who's built a healthy relationship, from major and minor issues,
The good, the bad, the ugly.
to triumphs of the family unit.
In this day and age, you need somebody by your side.
Utilize proven techniques and strategies to help your relationship and family thrive to the next level.
You have to compromise.
This is the Family Dynamics Podcast with Kevin and Alicia Meeks.
Welcome to another episode of the Family Dynamics Podcast. Once again, we're in our home studio, and I am in the studio with my beautiful wife, Alicia Meeks.
Hey.
Now, we at episode 16 right now, and it's been pretty fun. But for those who don't know what our podcast is about, it's about family, co-parenting, marriage, and just all of the adversities and triumphs of the family. And that's what we talk about. Today, we kind of wanted to leave it open for a lot of our viewers and just to ask questions, any questions that you have about marriage or co-parenting or just the family all around, that we want to answer some questions. Or if you just wanted to get to know Kevin and Alicia, hey, drop a comment.
Well, a lot of people have already sent us some questions. We had asked a while ago for questions for us, for people to just send in our inbox questions for us. So that's what people did. So now we have a list of questions that people want to know the answers to. So starting off, what were your first impressions of each other? So I'll let you start, honey.
My first impression of you. So when we when we was at okay, so I had like this fixation of her when we was at this parade, right? And I think she was telling this story to somebody else where the slide that came out, or the whatever, what was the dance called? Um uh
I forgot
yeah, it was a dance.
it was,
Yeah, but
dang, I just was listening to it. Hey. I can't think of it.
Yeah,
now.
it was that slide. There was a dance to that song or whatever, right? And she was looking extremely
the
good.
blurred
lines. And it was sundress season. And everything was in its place and everything was looking really nice. And that was the start of like, oh man, I like what this looks like. I want to see what more was. So that was my physical attraction. And then moving forward, it was like she, because she was, to me, she was well put together, and she had a focus, and she had a goal. She was very goal oriented, and she was willing to help, and she was just genuine. So that what really drew me. And more so anything, this is really, I'm gonna say this, and every woman think that she is, but every woman isn't. Like, she was a girly girl. Like every woman you meet ain't a girly girl. And I like that. I'm like, yeah, I like that. And I know you saying, or you out there like, well, I'm a girl. No, everybody ain't no girly girl. For real. Like, she could put the gym shoes on and put the heels on too. So that was what my physical and my emotional connection it was.
I didn't know about this girly girl part. I don't think you ever told me that part. But anyway, little did he know I was a tomboy too. So I don't know. It's amazing. Like our daughter Maya, she be saying, "Ma, I can't see you being no tomboy," because all she know is the girly girl that she met after she was born. But she don't know that girl from Harvey that was on the dirt bikes and the 4-wheelers and just hanging with my brothers mostly, because Annette didn't want me with her. So I was just with the boys and just with my daddy, and yeah. So yeah, I think I turned into a girly girl after college, I'll say. Like probably senior year in college, then I was like, okay. I mean, I always like kept my hair and nails done and stuff, but I got really girly like after high school. I'm sorry, after college, senior year. So, what was my first impressions of Kevin? Very initially, I absolutely didn't know he was younger than me. I mean, you all know that by now. Kevin's younger than me. But I never knew that because initially I just was like, he an old man. Like he just was so like quiet and handsome. And he just was, I don't know, he just was like an old man. Like he just talked and he was just so intelligent. And we had so many long conversations, like all the time, because he was a truck driver at that time for ENR. That was before we opened our own transportation company. And then I was a caseworker somewhere. I don't know what I was doing actually, but all of my jobs always consist of me being in the field or something. And I think whatever job I was at that time, allowed me to work from home a lot. So I was working from home and I just be on the phone with them, typing my little stuff out, writing my notes and different stuff, or I'd be driving to my customers' houses or clients. I don't know what I was doing at that time, but nevertheless, he just had great conversation. So initially, I just was like, he is an old man, but he was so handsome and he had such good conversation. Like it's not often you can talk to somebody for like hours, like all day, and the conversation was not getting stale. So that was the first impression. And then my second impression, even though that wasn't the question, but my second impression of him was that, wow, he's a good dad. Like every time it was time to get his kids, he'd tell me like, yeah, nah, I got to get my boys this weekend. This my kids weekend. And I'm like, dang, I ain't used to that. Cause Maya showed me with me. So that was something very different for me. And I just thought that was definitely sexy. Like, okay, he getting his kids without being forced. So that was my first impression of Mr. Meeks.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Mm.
Yeah, she didn't have them. She didn't have them coming outside with all them bonnets and all that stuff on. So I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is.
No, and I won't do it now. And I wish Amaya would. I'm gonna yank her by her ponytail. I don't know what she doing down there in Nolens, but she know here. I do not allow that. I be trying to tell Maya get herself together. I hate that seeing people out with them pajama pants and bonnet or scarf. Back then it was scarf and people was out with scarves on.
Yeah.
I just no. So, what did your families think of your new boyfriend or girlfriend? Well, my mama automatically, like, I don't know what was up. Probably because our family, we already knew each other and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, my mother, we all knew of Kevin. You know what I'm saying? But I had never, ever had I think I had one conversation with you at Marcus' baby first birthday party.
Yeah. It was at his.
Yeah, and my cousin's son, MJ, first birthday party, I had my first conversation with Kevin. And he was really intelligent then, but you know, he had them braids and stuff, so that threw me off a little bit, you know. But he had a good conversation there too. I can't even remember what all we was talking about, but he had a good conversation there too. But nevertheless, I do recall that day that we were at my granny's house and out there for the Robins Parade, seeing Kevin and my mom to the side talking. And I'm like, what is they talking about? Like, I couldn't understand. But I don't know what they was talking about because I never even went over there like interrupt and find out because he wasn't my boyfriend. He just liked me at that time or was trying to tell me that he liked me. So I just was still man in my business because I didn't even think of him in that way. And we was just at my granny house chilling. So that was that. And yeah, that's my family. So basically, my mom liked them, so did Annette, and that's that with that. I need some tissue.
Yeah, like she said, our families already was intertwined in some sort. We knew each other for a long time, but um, initially, a lot of people, especially on my end, a lot of people didn't know that we were even, getting to know each other so tough. So my family's impression,
Came from your mom.
right, came from my mother. But my mother, I mean, she liked who I like. Like I think that she really liked the fact that I was really into you. Like I think that she was like, man, you really into her. Like she liked her for me. Like she likes her for me. So I don't think that I got anything negative from my side of the family at all, or from her side at either. Like I ain't gonna lie, we kept a lot of stuff private with us
Yeah, so that's kind of
initially.
difficult to answer because
Yeah.
so basically that's another question, like tell a story of how y'all got together. So basically, like we said, our families was intertwined, and once he made it known, and my cousin Chanel, rest in peace, Chanel Chanel called me, and I just remember this vividly. She called me like I must have wasn't getting it. Like it was probably going over my head that he wanted to talk to me. And so Chanel had kicked it with us that night. And so the next day she called me like, what you gonna do about Kevin Sean? And I'm like, do what? What you talking about? Like I didn't understand. And she was like, about Kevin Sean. What you gonna do about Kevin Sean? Because everybody call him Kevin Sean then. And what you gonna do about Kevin Sean? And I was like, I mean, like, do about what, Bill? Because I call Chanel Bill. And she is like, you know he liked you. He was trying to show you he liked you last night and this and that because we were at Marcus' house and I had never smoked hookah before. And so
She was chiefing.
So I was willing to just try the hookah. And so he was trying to let me try. And so, of course, he was in my face blowing the smoke. And I was like trying to breathe it. And so I guess because we were so in our personal spaces, Chanel was like, yeah, he was trying. So I was like, oh, maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. And so that was just that.
Y'all know how like the porcupine, they say a porcupine to show that they like another the peacock. The peacock shows how he likes the female. He spreads his wings and show her how, like I'm showing all of this and she's still like, oh,
I wasn't getting it.
I don't know, I'm not ready.
Because I just wasn't even on that. Like I was in my singlemom.com mode. I'm just telling you, I was just focused on what I was focused on, like my little baby. And I don't know, I just wasn't paying attention. And I didn't know until Belle pointed it out, like, what you gonna do with Kevin Sean? So that was that. And I ended up texting him that day. So that was a part of it. The question was, how did y'all end up getting, linked up? And so basically we were at my granny's house and like I said, I wasn't thinking nothing about Kevin Sean. And I was like, can you take me and my cousin's picture? And I handed him my phone. And at that time I had a Samsung. I was team Android. Yes, I was the green people, the green text message people. And so I was like, here, take a picture of me with my cousins. Can you take a picture of me with my cousins? And I just left them out and told him to take our picture. And he was like, I'm not using no Android. And so he had an iPhone. And I was like, okay, whatever. Just take it with your phone and just send it to me. So he took it. So I turned around so I could walk over there in the picture. And then allegedly he took the picture. And then, of course, what do we do after someone takes the picture? Let me see. So I took his phone, like, let me see. And I looked, and it was a picture of my butt.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, you're on the wrong page.
No, I was on the right page.
And so I said, send me the picture. So whatever way, he sent me the picture, and that was that. And I think that was his way of having my number, although he didn't call. What happened was after Bell, that's the whole point of me bringing that up. After Bell said that, I was like, no wonder he took a picture of my butt. Because at first, initially, I didn't want, you don't want to assume like, yeah, this guy trying to holler at me. Like, I don't just automatically assume that. Just like when somebody say good morning, beautiful, like I don't just take it off the bat. It's people in my doggone DM right now. Like, I'm not saying nothing to them because that don't mean they trying to talk to you because they say good morning, beautiful, or how you doing, beautiful. So I didn't want to assume that he wanted to talk to me just because maybe the phone went off. I was just really, I'm telling you, it was just going over my head. So I didn't even think he had did that on purpose until Belle was like, what are you gonna do with Kevin Sean? So I said, so he did take a picture of my butt. And so I text him and I was like, I hope you deleted that picture of my butt out your phone. And he was like, I didn't, or something. And then we ended up text messaging from there. So that's the beginning of Mr. and Mrs. Meeks. But what he's saying is that, and if anybody on here, we're just answering question and answers from our viewers. Some people have sent in text message questions. Some people have sent in, inbox questions or whatever. So we're just answering the questions. So right now we're talking about how we got together, how we started dating. And so he was saying that a lot of people, because one of the questions was, how did your family feel about your boyfriend, your girlfriend at the time? And so we were both speaking about that, and it was kind of hard to answer that question because once we started talking, we both was like, maybe we should just keep this to ourselves, because it's gonna be awkward if it doesn't work out. Like, if it doesn't work out and nobody knew about it, then it would just be awkward within us. And then we'll have to figure that out. But we didn't want to publicly date, and then if it didn't work out, our families, it just felt awkward. So we both said we was gonna keep it to ourselves that we was dating, and so we kept it to ourselves for a good while.
Yeah.
How long?
No, it was a little while.
Like what?
I would say a couple months. We kept it under, right? Because not too long after that we got married. So it wasn't that long.
We did. So we started dating at the end of August of 2013. And then we made it official, like in September, the end of September. And then in February, he proposed to me. And in March, we got married. So yeah, that's what happened. And so people did find out we were dating. I want to say like in October or November. And the way we told everybody, we had took a picture kissing, or with him kissing my neck or something was going on, but it was a sensual picture, and I posted it. And people know I never post any man that I was dating or nothing. And so I put that picture up, let's just say 8:00 in the morning on the way to work. For the rest of the day, we couldn't even talk to each other. We was used to talking to each other every day, like all day. We couldn't even talk to each other because our phones was blowing up. Like, everybody was calling like, hold on. Because you could only see his side view. He wasn't facing the camera. And if we get a chance on the YouTube video, because this is also for the YouTube podcast, if we get a chance, I'm going to have him put the picture up here. That's awkward. But I'm going to have him put the picture up that we put up, that I posted of us, to kind of let everybody know like we was dating. And they got a side view of him. So people was calling me, like they was texting like, Alicia, is that Kevin Sean?
But I think some people had, some close people had like a idea, because you know how when you it's something new. Like you go MIA, you know, you
They
doing
had an
this.
idea we was dating somebody, but they never thought
Somebody,
it was
right?
us.
Sure, right. But I'm saying, like, you know, your usual routine is changing. You ain't doing the same thing you usually do. Like you got something to do now all of a sudden. So, you know.
And I remember the very first person who knew we was dating, I gotta be honest, and I'm gonna have to tag her in this, is Kathy Kirkwood.
Yeah.
Kathy Kirkwood. She is one of my Harvey friends, and also our daughters were in cheer together. And she was at my house because while our girls was in cheer, it was down the street from my house. We'll come back to my house, have a few drinks, talk, whatever. And so we was at my house standing by the counter. And Kevin, I had told him I was gonna make him some turkey wings or something. It was turkey wings. I told him I was gonna make him some turkey wings. So I used to always keep my garage up. Like that was just the dumbest thing. I think about it now. But I always used to keep my garage up all the time. And so we were standing by the kitchen counter and he just walked in and Kathy was like, and so I was like, yeah, your plate in the microwave. And Kathy was looking like, hold on, wait, let's talk about this. And so we couldn't talk that moment because Kevin was there. Well, oh boy. Next thing you know, she like, we going the next practice, bring him. We going out for wings. And we went for
Yeah, we sure
and
did.
we went for some hot wings at Stony Point. Oh, them used to be so good. I hate being a pescatarian at this point. But okay, I'm back. So those are those two questions. Let's see what the next question is. Okay.
I know y'all got some weird stories because we got some weird stories. But I mean, everything ended up working out. But them first months was kind of like walking through raindrops with people because they didn't really know what was really going on. People were still trying to figure it out.
And so the next question is, how did you know it was serious? Like, how did you know y'all was gonna get married?
How do we know we was gonna get married? You know, I think that, you know, when people say communication is key, I think it was. So here is the deal. My Alicia, she was headstrong about where she wanted to be. I knew where I wanted to be, but my pace was a bit more slower, right? Because I had just previously got out of a situation and I wanted to just, you know, take a breather and, you know, take it all in. But she wanted to be in a marriage, wanted to be married, wanted to be, she was dating with a purpose.
Boom. That's what I was doing. I was dating with a purpose.
She was dating with a purpose, and
I wasn't gonna waste my time anymore. I had previously been on like some hell dates. And so from there, I just felt like I don't really have much time. I'm a single mom. I'm busy. I work. I was at one point in school while working, trying to get my master's and being a single mom for real, for real. My baby came home every night. Nobody kept my baby. And so I was busy. So then the little time I do have, you know how it is when you have a child or you're a single parent. So in order to go on one date, you got to go drive across town, come back, get dressed before you go and then meet up, or, you know, it just was too much to set up for dates. So if I'm going to date, I'm not going to waste my time. So not saying like, hey, marry me today. I never said that. But what I did say is like, if your intention isn't marriage one day, then leave me alone because I do want to be married. I don't want to be nobody's girlfriend forever and ever, ever.
But I mean, the only issue with that is that, you know, everybody don't come in on an even keel when it comes to where we are. Like we said, we dated for a short time and then we got married, so things was kind of fast.
And that's odd because you said that you wasn't on that page, but you the one asked me to marry you so fast.
But see, this is the thing though. I wanted your initial was this. I knew that I would give my 100% all to somebody and be married. It's just that I wanted to see first. I wanted to be in the driver's seat of where I was going. Because a lot of times, with a lot of men or in relationships, like you taking a back seat and you kind of just going with the flow. And I wanted to be in the driver's seat of it. Like I knew you had amazing framework, but I wanted to be in the driver's seat. So yeah, we got married soon, but where I was and where you was in two different spaces.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what's confusing me.
Well, it's not confusing.
It's confusing me. I could say it's confusing.
Well, I'm saying it's not confusing because I wanted to see. Like I liked you. I think we was vibing really good. But your push for where you wanted to be, well, you was already stuck in that. Like I had to see, like, okay, I like this. You know how you get something and you
Well, I never said that day like I wanted to even marry
but you didn't even want to date if that's wasn't the progress.
No, boom. Exactly. Why would you, ladies? Why would you date?
But what I'm saying, we day one, and then
it wasn't day one.
It was almost. We got married in 6 months.
I know, but I'm just.
But what I'm saying, you can't even tell.
No, I didn't tell you. I never asked you to marry me. I said
if I wasn't on that page, then we was day one. If I wasn't on that page, look, y'all, she left me alone because I didn't tell her, like, yeah, that's what we doing. That's what
I told him to leave me alone.
But what I'm saying is your mind was already in motion of marriage, and I'm coming into this space. You know who you was. I didn't know who you was.
Right.
So I had to see. Let me see. But your push was, this is what I want. If I ain't getting it, it's like, well, hold on.
No, I didn't say if I'm not getting married. I said
if this wasn't your page.
I said, what is it that, what are we doing? That's why I wanted to know, like, what are we doing? Because we was hanging out a lot and this and that. And I'm like, I just want to be upfront. Like, what are we doing? And he was like, yeah, I'm not really for no relationship. That's just not something I want right now. That's not what I want. I remember he kept saying about what he wanted. That's not what I want.
Yeah, I was clear about what I want. I wasn't gonna be that guy that tell you what you wanted to hear.
And so
I told you exactly where I was at.
Yeah, that day. And guess what happened that night? So
yeah, tell him what happened that night.
That morning, we were both going to church. He was going to his church. I was going to my church. And I was like, I asked him that question. And I was like, so like, what are we doing? And he was like, yeah, I don't want a relationship. Like, that's not what I want. And so I was like contemplating, but ladies, stand your ground. And so I was contemplating saying this because I knew me saying this could go one way or the other. So the hair stood up on my arm and I was like, well, I am dating with a purpose. I do want to eventually get married. Not today. I do want to get married in the future. And if that's not something that even is on your mind, then leave me alone. That's what I said. And he was like, well, what do you mean? I said, like, look out this door. We was by the stairs by my house. I said, look out this door. And I said, to the right is a dead end. So how many times will I leave out this house and make a right knowing it's going nowhere? Why would I keep going somewhere that's not going nowhere? I'm not going to do it. So therefore, leave me alone if that's not what you want to do. Because to me, I felt like that was steady me going down a dead end street.
She did. And ladies, she was strong. And I want you to stand your ground within reason. My wife, if anybody knows, my wife is very impatient at times. And it takes patience and communication. Like, no one comes in on the same page. She was dating with a purpose. If you're a woman who, or you are a man, you're in a relationship, or you not in a relationship, and you have been single for a long time. Yeah, your thoughts of when you get somebody that you see that all can be a potential, the person that you see that could be a potential may not be right there at that moment. She actually did leave me alone for that day. But I'm who I am. I stood my ground as a man and as who I say I was. She sent me a picture like what, like what's up? Like what's up?
You sent
She
me a
said,
picture. You
no,
sent
she
me that
sent,
picture of you linked out of Marcus'
and
window.
she sent me a picture that same day on her balcony, taking a picture on her balcony. Maybe I'll put it right here.
After you.
No, it
After
wasn't on.
you sent me the picture of you and Marcus'
No,
car,
no, no, no,
and you
no.
was like
But
this
see,
with a green shirt on.
But here's the, but I'm not the one who said leave me alone because I'm not
But
telling
you
you.
sent me that picture first.
But it doesn't matter who sent the
Okay.
picture first. It's the fact that you responded with another picture
I
because I
did.
knew what you were saying didn't align with what you were doing. It didn't align. You wanted marriage. And I wasn't telling you that in that moment. We just started vibing. Like I want to see how everything else mesh. I want to see how everything match. And I wasn't ready to say, yep, we get married today. Yeah, our conversation was good. Our communication was good. Some of the things that we
I
said.
didn't say let's get married today.
No, but you
wanted
wanted the confirmation that was going to be the road we was on. And we was too early in our friendship to say that I'm going to tell you that that's what road we was on.
Well, I don't think I was looking for you to tell me, yes, I'm
You
gonna
was
marry
looking
you.
for you. Said,
I wanted you to tell me
you wanted me to tell me that was going to be the progress where we was on. It ain't. That's the one. I don't want to be a dead end. So you wanted me. You wouldn't want me to tell you that. Oh yeah, we're going to be in a relationship forever. You wanted me to tell you that I was on the same page of your track that I wasn't on at that point. Right. So I was clear.
But how did you
that's
get
what
on
I want
so
to.
fast?
That's what I want to tell men. Be complete. I was dead honest with her when I said what I said. I wasn't ready for that. And I wasn't ready because I wasn't ready for where she was. I knew where she was at. I liked her. I think that she had everything I needed. I just needed to see some other stuff in this moment because things was moving extremely fast between me and her. Extremely fast. And it was some things that we didn't experience with each other because it was in the minutia of our days. She had a Maya each and every day. There wasn't no private time that me and her can have on a very intimate level that I wanted to see more of that, but we couldn't have that. Like she just said, she was a chill mom. It was like clockwork every single day. So to talk about where we're gonna be in 5 years, well, I want to get to know you more. I was more delicate with her situation than her, and I think she was not hearing that I'm being patient to not hurt you and hurt myself. So when I got to that, I had to assess. I said, well, I'm not gonna get, and this is what I tell men all the time. She's not going to be able to show me that aha. So I have to take what I have. Like if this continues like this, if our schedules continue like this, am I happy with her? And can I build and then we'll move forward? And that's how it moved to like, man, I can marry you. And that's a tip because things might not ever change with the person you get in relationship with. But are you going to take the framework and say, man, you know what? I can roll with this. Because no, I didn't want to lose her, but I wasn't willing to move on her terms or on what she wanted in the moment. She had been single for a long time. I hadn't. But I wanted to see something outside of us moving in our day-to-day, because then that can just be regular friendship. And it was just an infatuation. I wanted to see that we really had an emotional and a love connection. That's what I wanted to see. So then I said, okay, well, you're going to have to concede on your aha moment that you need with her and just take with what you got and then build around that. That's what it was.
So then what made you feel like, because you've had other relationships and other clearly, relationships. So what was that made you want to marry Alicia? Because you could have been married to anybody.
Yeah, I could have been married to anybody. And that's what I just said. I said it was just the framework. I took a template, which was Alicia, the template, and I said, okay, I can deal with this. Now, everything inside of that template, I may not know 100%, but what I did know was like, I like this. And if I insert myself, then I can make this what I want it to be. And you had a pliability with yourself to say, I'm willing to work with you as you work with me. So that's what it was. I didn't have everything I needed to say, yep, this is my wife. I had enough, because if you think about it, if you look in the Bible, who had all of it was like, okay, I like this person. I think I'm going to build with this person and I'm going to go for it. Because think about it. Year 7, it's so many changes that has happened between you and I on an individual level. We had to make the adjustment. So I say, well, I'm gonna have to make the adjustments. I didn't kiss enough frogs, so it might as well, you got some good friends, you might well roll with it now. You know what I'm saying? And here we are, 7 years later, married.
Married than a mug.
So a person may not show you, not even look. I was just finding out a lot more about her, like well off into our marriage, a year, 2 years, still finding out things that I didn't know. So to date someone for 10 years to find out if we're gonna get married, this person ain't gonna, like, year 1 to year 7, she's a whole different person. She want a whole different thing, and I want different things from year 1 to year 7. So would I wait that long through all of these changes and not get in the game and not get into the fight of it, not get in the thick of it? No, that makes no sense. And that's what bothers me about life. I ain't saying to rush into nothing. Don't, please do your due
But
diligence.
it don't
with a
take
person.
all
It
day
doesn't.
to recognize sunshine is what
It
I'm
don't.
telling some of these men, like, and women, like people that's been dating for years on end. Like, if he want to marry you, he could have just gone on and married you. Like, it's not gonna be this aha moment that, yeah, that's now. No, it's just about a level of commitment. That's what it's about. It's about a level of commitment. And it does not take all day. A man knows his intentions with you pretty soon. Like, I can't tell you when because I'm not a man, but I would gather that most men knew that they were going to end up marrying someone. Like, most.
I think on both sides of the fence, like, if this person is good
It's
for
somebody that you want to
you. Yeah,
be with, like that.
I mean, like, if this person is good for you, and because you don't even know you 10 years from now.
Because everybody changed. If
Everybody
nothing
changed.
changes, nothing changes. And so we all should be changing because we all should be growing. We should all be growing in self. We should be growing in relationship. We should be growing as a parent. We should be growing as a husband, as a wife. We should just be growing as a person. So if you're growing, you're not staying the same. When a plant grows, it doesn't stay the same. It
Right.
grows. It blossoms.
So that was the reason why we got so married so quick.
It's because what?
It's because I knew that early on. Like, man, time is going by. Time going by, and she gonna be a whole different person. She gonna be a whole different person. And I waited for what? A lot of men or even women had that person like, man, I had somebody good, and I let them go not because I wasn't ready, but because I wanted to see something that they wasn't gonna show me anyway. They ain't gonna show you that anyway. Like, you waiting for this moment, you waiting for this, like, this aha moment to, like, oh, these person is down for me, and they if you can tell if a person will go. Look,
and if your relationship is a standstill, that you're not about to go any further in this relationship. He not finna commit. He ain't buying you the ring. Even if y'all went and looked at it and picked it out, once you don't got it, that this man is not on that. And basically.
If a woman ain't on that,
yeah,
like, she just want it for vanity, but not really for the work of it, not for the us of it. It's just for vanity. I just got the ring, put a ring on it. What is that?
Yeah, some people do only want you to put a ring on it, and they ain't worried about some people want the ring and the wedding, but do you want the marriage? Because, baby, marriage is the work part. Like, the engagement and the wedding, those are events.
They are events.
They events. But the actual marriage is the thing here. You know what I'm saying? It's the lifestyle. That's the lifestyle, the marriage. So it's some more questions here, but we're going to have to do a part 2 because it took a while for us to answer these questions. Yeah. So we're going to come back with a part 2.
But before we go to part 2, hey, put down in the comments what you think about this topic or a previous topic that we talked about, and put down what would you like for us to talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, we talked about us. We let you guys know how we started and how we began, because we just want you guys to be more in tune with who Kevin and Alicia is as a couple, as a married couple. And we'll go more in depth about how we started to blend. How did we start to get into the the adversities of our marriage and blending each
Mhm.
other.
Yes.
And what does the age gap, what has transpired due to the age gap, or if any. So we want you guys to put this down in the comments, what you think about this episode and what questions you may have, or any comments. Share this out with somebody.
Oh yeah, share this.
Yeah, please share this out.
Share this this live. Share it.
It don't cost you nothing. Just share it.
Just share
like
it.
it.
So it
comment.
can get out, because you know a lot of people may or may not know that we have a podcast. And you know, I know plenty of the women in my Spoiled Wives Club, they always have questions. They're always asking for more information. So yeah, like and share. It's free, it's easy, it takes 2 seconds. And we're gonna come back with part 2 of the question and answers from you.
And we'll see y'all in a minute.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Family Dynamics Podcast with Kevin and Alicia Meeks.
Thank you, guys.
Please like, subscribe, and comment. And don't forget to follow us on social media at The Family Dynamics.
We'll see y'all in a minute.
Bye.